about the brother up in New Jersey that had to whack the racist, and unfortunately that fatal blow put him down for the count. And this brother's got a 3-year plea deal. We're gonna touch up on that one tomorrow. But I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this one right here with the Umar Johnson and Kamala Harris Zoom meeting. We know Kamala Harris has been eating it up on Zoom. At least that's what we've been told, because we had the one where we had 45,000 black men, 44,000 black women. They raised something like close to $3 million, and you had the supposedly 164,000 the white women Zoom for Kamala, whatever the heck that was. So we've been seeing these massive amount of numbers popping up on the Zoom and stuff. So Dr. Umar Johnson basically was saying that, hey, her people reached out to him about doing a Zoom as well to address black issues. I couldn't get everything in the title. Y'all know how these titles are. But to address issues in the black community, Umar said that he was offered money and that he declined that, but he was still willing to come on there. So I'm going to touch up on that. And I want to hear what all you guys got to say. Matter of fact, I'm going to give people maybe 1 or 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and touch up on that article. And just very interesting, that I would not expect that Dr. Umar would be somebody that they would actually reach out to, because we know Dr. Umar, whether you like him or love him or hate him or whatever, he's very opinionated about certain things as well too. And I would think that they would say, hey, that might be a drawback bringing somebody in like Dr. Umar. Let's be for real, who's not the biggest proponent of interracial marriages and a whole lot of other things as well too. So I found that to be a little bit I was kind of thrown off a little bit. I was like, Dr. Umar to all people. I was like, okay, well, if that works for them. So I wish he would actually not even told anybody about that. And he would actually went on the Zoom, and then he could have popped the questions off that he wanted to ask as well too. I think that would have been, if he had actually done that. Now I think you're going to get kickback from her side. Oh no, we didn't offer no Dr. Umar, nothing like that. We didn't offer him no money. We never reached out to his side and this and that. So I think that's going to be the topic coming from the Kamala Harris side as well to the Democrats. Oh no, we would never reach out to somebody like him who's so divisive and this and that. So that's the thing, Professor, that's kind of got me a little bit.
Yeah, it's just strange to me, man, with Dr. Umar and her. But supposedly some other influencer on YouTube, and I can't remember the guy's name, said that Kamala's team had reached out to him about coming on his so-called platform and talking with him about, I guess, different issues, basically trying to reach out to the black youth, because this particular influencer reaches a lot of the younger blacks out there, black Americans out there. And so I got to find that article, Total, because I can't remember the influencer's name that's on YouTube, but he said that Kamala's team has reached out to him too about being on his platform. So maybe she is reaching out to these different platforms because she's trying to reach different variations of black people, so she can try to get these votes, man.
That's a possibility. And that's a possibility. And we hear people talking about influencers are being paid and everything else as well, too. I don't know how true that is, but let's keep it like this. I believe if one side is paying, the other side is paying too. I think when it comes to politics, we know how people quick to push that money out as well, too. So let me go ahead. I want to touch up on this article from Black Sports Online, our curation partner. And I'm going to go ahead, and it touches up on this as well, too. Professor, I didn't print the article up, so I'm going to go to the actual site and read it. The entire article, and just let me know that you can hear me, because sometimes you go to the sites and stuff, you can actually the actual audio and stuff in these spaces kind of go a little bit. Can you hear me, Professor?
I can hear you.
Okay, it's titled Dr. Umar Johnson Rejects Kamala Harris money to have him on a Zoom call to discuss black community issues. Y'all excuse me, because the page is kind of moving as well too. Pan-African activist Dr. Umar Johnson has once again captured the attention of the public with his recent decision to reject money offered by Vice President Kamala Harris to engage in a Zoom call regarding issues affecting the black community. This bold move by Dr. Johnson has sparked discussions and raised important questions about the dynamics of the political engagement, advocacy, and authenticity within the African American community. Dr. Umar is known for his unwavering commitment to advocating for the rights and empowerment of the Black community. He has been a vocal critic of systematic racism, educational disparities, and social injustices that continue to plague African Americans with a background in psychology and deep understanding of the historical and social factors that contribute to these issues. Dr. Johnson has gained a significant following and respect within the community. Vice President Kamala Harris' team allegedly, let's say that again, Vice President Kamala Harris' team allegedly reached out to Dr. Johnson to discuss pressing issues facing the Black community, but rejected her monetary offer for his time and stated the conditions to meet to get him on the important Zoom call. According to Umar, he will only be on that call on the condition that the conversations won't be pre-recorded and must be telecasted live to the national Black community. Also, he promised not to disrespect Kamala Harris, but would ask direct questions about miseducation, police brutality, and other pressing issues affecting the Black community. Dr. Johnson's reaction of the money offered by Vice President Harris reflects his commitment to maintaining his autonomy and integrity as an advocate for the Black community by refusing to be swayed by financial incentives or the allure of a high-profile conversation. Dr. Johnson has reaffirmed his dedication to speaking truth to power and prioritizing the needs and concerns of those he represents. In a time when the Black community continues to face systematic challenges and injustice, it is crucial to have voices like Dr. Umar Johnson advocating for change and empowerment. His decision to reject money from Vice President Kamala Harris serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of staying true to one's values and principles in the fight for justice and equality. Okay, so it's a pretty short article. This is, like I say, this is published on Black Sports Online. This is coming from Dr. Umar Johnson and his people, and like we say, allegedly. But if that's true, if Dr. Umar Johnson did refuse money, now from what the article said, he was willing to come on there. He didn't want the money. Maybe he felt like by taking the money, people would say that he was bought and paid like so many other people. So, hey, he said, hey, I'll come on there, I'll speak, but I don't necessarily need your money. I want to go ahead and be direct with the questions or whatever I want to ask. He said it based on the article, he wouldn't be disrespectful to her as well either. But, Professor, let me get your opinion on that. How do you feel about Dr. Umar first? If he rejected the money, but he said, you know what, I'm willing to come on there and I'm willing to discuss issues and everything else. Because, a lot of times people do get paid to come and speak and stuff like that. And the first time somebody finds out that this person was paid and people talk about, well, this person is bought, sold out, and this and that or whatever. But he said, hey, you know what, I don't need the money, but I'm willing to come on there. And I don't want it to be pre-recorded. I want it to be live to the Black, basically telecast live, and I want to be able to ask certain questions or whatever without, being disrespectful. What's your thoughts and your views on that? Shout out to Mel. Shout out to Black Pressure. I see you up in here as well too. Shout out to a bunch of you guys. Jamaican Maroon, I see you up in here as well. I see my girl Reraw up in here. And like I say, Stephanie, my girl Stephanie. So a bunch of you guys up in here. I definitely want to hear what you guys got to say about that. Definitely go ahead and retweet this space out as well, too, guys. Definitely retweet the space out. But Professor, shout out to you as well, too. Miss Shannon as well, too. Shout out to you as well, too. I see Mr. Original down there as well. But, what's your opinion on that? Because I know a lot of people saying, well, of course, when it comes to Dr. Umar, there's so many different emotions when it comes to Dr. Umar, because a lot of people say, well, I know this can't be true, because if they actually did offer Umar that money, he would have took it and this and that. So, what's your personal opinion about that? Shout out to my people over there on YouTube as well, too, guys. Definitely share the actual share this broadcast tonight. But Professor, what's your thoughts on that?
To be honest with you, I don't quite believe him when it comes to the money part of this. Most of the time, any type of social influencer like a Dr. Umar is going to get paid for some type of service, because they're not just going to get on any type of platform and not get something out of it. He can tell the public, I won't take any money, I won't get paid for it, but guess what? Behind closed doors, they putting that check in his hand. See, he can always tell us that he didn't get paid for it. I I just don't believe that. Most of the time, whenever something like this is happening, people are definitely going to exchange money. So I don't believe him on that. I don't really know if Dr. Umar is a friend of the black community or not, to be honest with you. He always been kind of suspect to me. So I'm just gonna be honest with you, Toto. I don't really believe. I think he's gonna get some money out of the deal, and he can tell the community. Of course, he didn't get paid. But Kamala and her team are going to pay these influencers money to do these shows, these platforms. All of them are willing to take money. I'm pretty sure if you anybody that's out here and got a YouTube platform or some kind of media influence podcast, you want to get paid. That's why you're doing it. Hell, if I'm doing a podcast, I want to get money out of that so I can continue to build on that. That's the whole purpose of me doing it. So anybody that's an influencer like that, yeah, they getting something. So I'm going to land right there. I'd like to hear what everybody else got to take on this, because I know how I feel about Dr. Umar, so I would love to hear what everybody else have to say.
Appreciate that, Professor. I'll say this about Dr. Umar. Like I said, I know he's a polarizing figure, and I know, a lot of our people don't support what he I guess the Pan-Africanism and stuff like that. But Dr. Umar, to me, I believe does have a genuine love and care for black people. Maybe people say that, he's too Pan-African, he's too this, he's too that. But I believe that he genuinely does care. Now, I know people start throwing the school up and their school ain't complete and this and that or whatever. I'm just saying, based off of what I see, I personally believe that he does care for black people. Maybe people say, well, he's too globally, that he cares too much for black people globally or this or that or whatever. But I do believe that, Dr. Umar does care about black people. My thing when it comes to the actual money, I guess you could look at it two ways. If you're going to sit down with Kamala Harris, who's running for vice president, and you say, you know what, I don't need the money, you can look at it another way, like, hey, you know what, I don't need the money, but at the same time, just being on a Zoom call with her is going to actually blow his name up even more. And I know that Dr. Umar has a good following and everything else as well too. But if you sit up here and you have a Zoom call with Kamala Harris, there's going to be a bunch of people who've never heard of Dr. Umar Johnson are going to hear his name for the first time. So that in itself can bring you extra attention and money and everything else as well too. So you can always look at it like that. Like they always say, the people at the Super Bowl, they don't get paid to perform, and they don't get paid to perform because they have such an audience, global audience and everything else looking at them right then and there, whatever. So it pretty much pushes their star through the stratosphere even more. So that's one way of looking at it. Okay, well, he may not be getting money right now at this point in time, but hey, you know what? Hey, I don't need the money, because the just being up here with you with the cloud and everything else, and my name being, talked about, that's going to bring in, X amount of dollars and this and that or whatever. So, that's one way of looking at it. Now on YouTube, Non-Swirl Zone says YouTube content creator Anton Daniel said the Dems contacted him about paid support. He also said the Dems contacted him about paid support and he turned them down. So, I don't know. We're hearing this stuff online that people are saying that, hey, and let's be for real. And this is not anything new or whatever. When it comes to these, especially this election here coming up, you're going to have hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, circulated in people's hands for advertisement and this and that or whatever. So let's not act like it's out the realm of possibility for people to actually get paid to go ahead and promote certain candidates. They've been doing it for the longest. People are going to get paid, especially as somebody that you actually have an affinity for as well too. Somebody said, well, I'll give you X amount of dollars and come on here and talk about so-and-so. You already going to vote for that person. So, hey, you're willing to take that money. And you're right, Professor. The vast majority of podcasters, I don't know if we consider Dr. Umar to be a podcaster or not, but the vast majority of podcasters would go ahead and get paid. They take that money. They're like, hey, they're going to give me $30,000, $40,000 or whatever. People like, yeah, I'll take it or whatever. Like, hell, if they come my way and ask me, I'll take it, but I'm going to ask you whatever I want to ask you. I'm going to ask you about reparations. I'm going to ask you about a crime bill for black people. So if you sit up there and say, well, you can't ask me this and that or whatever, I'll play dumb with you too. I'm like, okay, well, just give me the money. And then when that interview start, I'm still going to ask you those questions. I'm still going to ask you about reparations. I'm still going to ask you about a hate crime bill for black people. I'm going to ask you about police immunity, all of that kind of stuff that you guys duck and dodge and run from. That's why I wish that he would have actually kind of not said anything about it. You know, if they actually had that interaction, I wish he just would have went ahead and said, you know what? Yeah, I'll come on there. I don't need the money. He could just like, you know, I have no problem coming up there and just talking about black community issues or whatever. I can do that for free or whatever. Come up there. Now the fact that, you know, that he kind of allegedly let the cat out the bag and said, yeah, you know what? They contacted me and they said this and said that. And then it becomes, it's going to get back to them. Oh, yeah, well, you know, even though he had a screenshot, you know, he did have a screenshot of the actual conversation in Black Sports Online. If you guys read that article on Newstoter and click through the Black Sports Online, they have an actual screenshot on there as well. Do you guys know we just curate certain portions of the content, but the entire article will be on the parent site. Click through that, go through that. And they have an actual screen. I believe they have an actual screenshot of the actual conversation. So you can check that out as well, too. But I kind of wish he would have kept it to himself and went out there and actually spoke, you know, actually spoke and talked. And it would have been interesting to see what kind of conversation Dr. Umar would have had with Kamala Harris. Like I say, we don't, you know, I don't know how factual it is, but I would actually like to see it. I would actually like to see them get up there, actually talk to her and talk about some serious issues in the black community. It would have been interesting to hear. It would have been interesting to hear that dialogue, that conversation as well, too. And I wish that we could have got that. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. We got Dr. Umar saying, hey, they came at him. They you know, he's willing to do this, he's willing to do that or whatever. But at the same time, the conversation that could have been had, now it's not going to take place. So you need somebody that's going to get up there and actually put them in an uncomfortable spot. Everything, it seems like, is scripted, and that's on both sides with the Republicans and the Democrats. Every question is scripted. The settings are scripted. Everything is scripted. You need somebody that's going to get up there and talk to them off script, you know, where they can't just sit up there and just have their handlers go ahead and screen every question and everything else like that, and you soft-horn and shoehorn everything. Like, no, you need somebody that's going to actually really push these people right there. And that would have been a good thing to actually see. You know, if we could have got somebody up there that would actually question or whatever. Now, one thing I do know, Umar was not going to bring up reparations, I don't believe. I don't believe Umar would have got up there and talked about reparations. I think he has other issues and stuff like that, but I don't think he would have got up there and really pushed the reparation question as much as well, too. But it would have been interesting. It would have been nice to actually hear what he had to say. Like I said, me personally, I want to get somebody up there that is going to talk to them about, hey, I want to hear about the reparations, police immunity, hate crime bills. I want to hear about, you know, all the different things and stuff that we need in the community. And then, you know, really, you know, not just the basic stuff. Yeah, we know police brutality, but we want to break down to be more specific about what you're going to do, and not just funding these people that you know commit crime after crime and everything else like that as well too. So Abdul said exactly, Dr. Umar is against reparation. That's what I say. Dr. Umar wouldn't have got on there because you need somebody else. Like, he's good. And I think he would have made her feel uncomfortable with some of the things he said. I think he would have asked some questions that were really concerning the black people as well in this country. I believe he would have done that. But I don't know, like what we all want to hear, you know. And Kamala's kind of been able to kind of just slide away when it comes to the reparation question as well too. So it would have been nice to actually hear that. It would have been really, really nice. And of course, the AKAs, Non-Swirl Zone says the AKAs raised $1.5 million. Simone donated $5 million to Harris. Simone had $5 million to donate to Harris. That's a lot of money for an Olympian. And I know she does the commercials and everything. So that's a lot of money. I know Beyonce donated $4 million, but that's a lot of money, man. That is a lot of money. Shout out to everybody coming up in here as well, too. And if any of you guys want to speak, I don't know if you all got a chance to hear me read that article as well, too. I definitely would love to hear you come up in here and speak. Shout out to you, Naheem. I saw you up. I think I saw a comment which you said that Dr. Umar earlier doesn't speak for us. And that's what I think you would have a lot of people saying that, you know, Dr. Umar doesn't speak for us and this and that or whatever. I think there's certain issues that, you know, you could kind of relate with Dr. Umar. And of course, I know there are going to be certain issues that everybody not going to relate with Dr. Umar on as well, too. So, you know, Naheem, it would have been nice that they could have got the Freeman folks to come up in there. Some of the people out of the New Black Media to come up in there and ask as well too. Like I say, I think whether you love him or hate him, still, I think Dr. Umar would have made her very, very uncomfortable, up there, with some of the things he would add. And it wouldn't have been a way to slither out so many times like they do as well. Too. They're able to slither out and get away from things without answering directly. Trump is a master of that as well, too, just switching the damn topic and talking about stuff that makes absolutely no sense, not even talking about it. So I think they would have tried to slither out as much as possible, but you got people that would have held them accountable. Professor, go ahead, and then we're going to get to original.
I really think that's why they're trying to maybe reach out to him, because they know he wouldn't necessarily be on the reparations tip. That's why we need people that actually speak on reparations to be questioning her. And see, I think she don't really want that. Her team is not going to reach out to people that they know who are going to be on that reparations talk. She is not interested in talking about that because she's not even trying to do anything for Black Americans, period. Okay? So, and she knows that's something that we are talking a lot about is reparations. We are talking about the qualified immunity, to having that removed from police officers. We are talking about the anti-hate crime bill, the George Floyd Policing Act. It's a lot of issues that Black Americans want to have addressed, and she is not trying to address none of those issues, okay? But I've been seeing, and I know you all have too, she don't mind speaking on these immigrants. There was a video where she just told a crowd of people that she's going to get rid of the so-called detention centers as soon as she is elected in office. She's going to close them down. See how she went right into that and told them that she's going to do that for them. But
and they need, and they, not to cut you off, Professor, they need to ask her what she's trying to do with the Freeman Bank as well too, because we saw that a few months ago she's trying to throw any and everybody up in that as well too. But my bad, Professor, go ahead.
Yeah, and she is. Anytime it comes to us, it's got to be, we got to get grouped in. We have to be grouped in with everybody else. It's nothing that she wants to speak on specifically related to our group. And I have a problem with her, and I don't understand why so many Black Americans are trying to get behind her. Now, I've been hearing the comments, well, it's better to get with her than to get with the guy that we know that's trying to push this, what is it called? The Project 2025 that everybody keeps pushing out here that we need to be worried about. So this is what we're hearing, is that it's best to get behind somebody like her, who maybe she's not Black or whatever, but it's the what is it total? The lesser of two evils, as everybody keep always wanting to throw out there.
Yeah, everybody be crying about that, yeah.
Yeah, and I despise that, y'all. I really do. I despise it. The so-called lesser of the two evils. Because here's somebody who has done harm. She has done harm to the community. I'm not saying Donald Trump is our friend, because he's not. But she is not our friend either. So I don't understand how anybody could get behind her and support her. I'm going to land right there.
All right. I see DJ up in here. Shout out to DJ as well, too. Original, definitely glad to have you up here. And I know you had your hand up, so go ahead. Anybody else that wants to speak to, man, y'all feel free. Let me read a comment real quick off of and Original, I'll get right back to you. Non-Swirl Zone says, I think Umar is not against reparations. His position was that the present generation would be too irresponsible with the money. Maybe 80% goes to building institutions and 20% to the descendants. I don't like those math numbers right there at all. Non-Swirl Zone as well too. I don't have a problem with building institutions and stuff like that, but only 20% going to the descendants. I don't like that. Go ahead, Original. You got it.
Yeah, just on the first show with Professor. When they talk about the lesser of two evils, just always remember, evil is like poison. Whether it's less or more, it will still kill you. So if you want to give up your vote, make sure you're getting something out of the deal. And this is I think this thing with Umar is part of this. You know, these political parties, they always have this GOTV thing going, that get out to vote. So he was, I think more than likely it would have been structured in a way whereby, of course, he's not going to be for reparations, because he's in my opinion, Umar is all over the place. So I don't know where I wouldn't trust him as far, he had already said, numerous times that all black people should be included in this reparation. No, all black people are not enslaved in this country. So I really don't trust him. I don't see where he would, like it was said earlier, he might be lying or whatever, and we don't know. And more than likely, the campaign is not going to come out and say anything. But like you said, Newstoter, they didn't go after any other influencer that's pretty big, because they know that they're going to, come out and talk about reparations and other things that are pivotal for black folks. And they don't want to hear that, because like Professor said, here she is telling the illegal aliens that she's going to get rid of these detention centers. And this is the sickening part of everything, because these people, they are not in any way, you see all these stupid, I call them below stupid people, because they're not just stupid, they are below stupid. You got the Ricky Smiley, and they're trying to tell black folks who they should. That is not your job. And I think they may have thought that Umar could pull some more people in. If it is true, then he might be able to pull additional people in that could vote for them. So, we'll see how it ends up. And remember, Newstoter, I cited you on one of the other broadcasts about we have 5 people in Congress, in the House, and 1 in the Senate from the state of Georgia, but yet they're not advocating for black folks. And I see the same thing. This is what happened when you look at people, like this. They don't want to advocate for us, but yet they want to come out there and get excited and come out there and vote. And I'm like, no, there's nothing to get excited about. I've been telling people, if somebody call you or they send you a text message, they'll go off on them. One person called me and said, man, they called my number and I let them have it. And they said, well, we removed you from the list. We need to send a message to these people that if you're not going to advocate for us, there's nothing here for you. We're no longer voting for free, and we're not being influenced by people like Umar Johnson or anyone else. So if you're not going to deliver on the issue that we want, then it will be what it's going to be. Because at the end of the day, people understand they have more to lose than we do. They want. I saw somebody talking. The only thing they want to talk about is gay rights, and they might be losing their rights, and abortion. So they are demographic specific with all these other folks. But what they will not be is demographic specific for Black Americans. But if you notice, when Kamala was in that initial video, when she was asked about reparations, and then he said, well, she started doing this tap dancing and trying to be the all-inclusive. Well, if I lift it, the Lift Act would lift up everybody, but everybody wasn't enslaved. It was black folks. It was the people who were the descendants of the enslaved people here. And so then when you say, well, if you take I'm not going to do something, I'm going to benefit black folks. Remember what our great poet laureate taught us. Maya Angelou, she said, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. And I'll lay.
Thank you, Original. Thank you. Let me give a shout out real quick to Brother Moku and EHZ as well, too, for their contributions on Cash App. I got my girl Rera. Rera, you was up here, but you dropped down. I wanted to get you back up here because I definitely wanted to go ahead and get one of the sisters' point of view, a perspective on this situation with Umar, Dr. Umar. I know you had the little tweet earlier, and like you said, they were kind of popping off, talking a little noise, but you know that how that is on these tweets and stuff like that as well too. So I definitely if even if you don't want to speak right now, I definitely want to get you and no taxation to chime in, brother Moku. You up here as well too. So we got some speakers up here. Nobody's got their hands up, but okay, there we go. No taxation, but I definitely want to get one of the sisters' point of view perspective. There we go. There we go. So we're gonna go to no tax, Rerod, and then we'll get to you, brother Moku as well too, and anybody else. Naheem, I know you up here as well too. You just listening, chilling, but if you want to speak, feel free to come on through, brother, and speak. I always love having you up in the space and hearing your scholarship as well too. You know, a lot of people that have an issue with Naheem, but you know, me and the brother, we cool, and like I say, I do like his scholarship, and you know, the way he puts things as well too. So shout out to Naheem as well too. So let me give a shout out to my girl Stephanie too for her contribution on Cash App. Thank you, Miss Stephanie. Let me go ahead and get to Miss No Taxation. No Taxation, what's going on with you tonight? And let me know, sister, what do you feel about this situation with Dr. Umar and him rejecting money from what he claims from Kamala Harris to do the Zoom call, but still saying he would go in there and participate as well too. So what's your point? What's your feeling on that? No tax.
Hey, News and everybody in the room. I hope everybody is well this evening. I'm kind of like original. I'm very skeptical because how did they miss that school, that whole school situation? But then I think to myself, well, they missed the man on the roof, you know. So I don't know what the hell is going on the hill. Because anytime you get people firing shots, that's the way it went down. On the roof, and then the people who's supposed to check everybody's background before they get to anybody on Capitol Hill, to miss that whole school situation, that's what makes me skeptical. And I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I will say this, News, I think you hit the nail on the head about that. It was a missed opportunity. But we're having a lot of missed opportunity because people think that they can't talk to so-and-so or so-and-so is not going to talk to them and all that kind of stuff. We have to remember that we have got to step to these people, these power brokers, because those are the change makers. They always talk to the person that can make the decision, and those are the people whose faces we need to be in. And but it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Hey, who knows? You know, I'm like original. Is he cloud chasing or what? So I guess we'll see. Time will tell. I'm gonna leave it there.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss No Taxation. And let me go ahead and get to Miss Rerod. What's up, Ree? It's been a minute.
Hey, News. Can you guys?
Oh, you sound like you breaking up a little bit, sweetie. Try.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I'll be really quick because I'm still at work. You know, with Umar, it's like, did they pick him because they knew, you know, he really don't deal with the Black community like that? I mean, people are saying he's in his school. It's kind of like he drew his line in the sand with his Pan-Africanism, you know. He's like, I was the African. I feel like he should have did it anyway. You know, with the school not being up, maybe he could have used that money to get the school up and running. I'm standing in solidarity with the Black community. Sounds fishy to me, since he's never have. He never has. I don't know when I stopped liking the. He just started cooning, and it's over. I don't know. You know, they could have got Tariq. You know, he's very well spoken. He knows exactly. There's plenty of people that they could have got, but they want. Seems like they want somebody who's going to coon out. And I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm like, did he do it to stand as solid, or did he do it to get some clout, like Original said? I don't know. But I'll end there. Thank you for allowing me to speak, Newstoter.
All right. Thank you, Miss Rerod. Let me go ahead and get to we got Brother Moku and we got Black Pressure as well too. Moku, go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing tonight, bro?
What's going on, y'all? Can y'all hear me? No, in the market. You hear me, Newstoter?
Yeah, you're a little low, but we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I will say this. With Umar, I would say that at least for this period in time, at least he's standing on, I guess, logic. I'm just surprised that no one is constantly bringing up her track record. I feel like they're using all these other tactics to distract us from bringing up her horrible, horrible track record against black women, against black men, against black children. I mean, specifically, there's so many goddamn points we can hit on this woman, and it seems like everybody is missing on purpose. Well, not everybody. I'm not going to say everybody, but when it's time, when certain people are in the spotlight and have a chance to, hound on something other than what race she's claiming, which she's claiming a race that's not even, technically a race on the census at all. So, I mean, if we're going to ask the right questions, ask the right questions and say really why we're not supporting this effery, for the space sake. I ain't going to cuss, but, let's really say why we're not supporting this effery, because we can see right through the issue. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious that this is a distraction move done by white supremacy, and I'm just glad you pointed it out. But as far as Umar, a broke clock is right twice a day. That's how I look at it.
All right, thank you, Brother Moku. Let me read a couple comments real quick off, and I got you, Pressure. I got you coming up next. No Swirl Zone says, besides Benjamin Crump, Umar is one of the only ones publicly speaking up for the community. Abdul said, I would definitely rather have Tariq Nasheed to speak than Umar. Another Swirl Zone also said, like Umar, wish we could consolidate a large portion of our vote for political leverage via a website membership. Okay, that's a thought to think about on that one. Like I said, I would also like, I would like, people from the grassroots actually speak to some of these Democratic candidates as well, too. Like I say, they mentioned Tariq. You got the Freedmen out here as well, too. And I think that they definitely should be the ones speaking up about that actual Freeman Bank and all the stuff that Kamala was talking about adding and this and that, and, adding groups and stuff that actually had nothing to do with the actual Freeman Bank. So, maybe Naheem and some of the Freeman brothers and sisters, if they get a shot, maybe they can get invited to a Zoom or whatever and ask her, exactly what's her intentions on that actual Freeman Bank. I say Umar would have been good for, I believe he would have brought up some issues and stuff like that as well. I don't think he would have brought up everything that we would like to hear, but I think, like I said, he would have brought up some stuff that they wouldn't have been prepared for, and I think they would have had a hard time, trying to duck and dodge as well too. So, but it would have been nice to actually hear him on. And I wish, like I said, I don't know if Umar was really serious about actually speaking to her. Like I say, I don't know if you should go ahead and publicly air out the conversation you had with her people behind the scene. If you really want to speak with her, then you go ahead and you handle that behind the scenes and you agree to whatever you agree to. And then you come out and you do the Zoom. And then, afterwards you dissect, the conversation and everything else, and let everybody else get a chance to dissect it as well too. Now it's like one of those things that's not going to happen. I don't know how close it was to happening, but it's like one of those things that's actually not going to really go ahead and take place. Black Pressure, what's up? What's going on with you, man?
What up, Nose?
What's up?
Man, hey, you always do that to me. I think you got that in your contract, man. Every time I'm about to go, you go into your promo. every time I'm about to get on the mic. What is it, man? But look, so check this out. I'm gonna say a few things about the brother. Now, I would say this. I know I've spoken to a lot of people, and a lot of people discovered Dr. Umar with the Hidden Colors series, right? Well, I'm the opposite. I saw that Hidden Colors after it had been out for maybe a couple of years is when I discovered it. But I saw Umar, my introduction to him was on YouTube, and it was through Sarnetta TV. Like I said, so I saw him on the speaking on like his speaking tours before I started Hidden Colors. So that was I'll just to from my introduction to him, that's how I saw him. So I'll say a few things about the brother. I know myself included, a lot of people are critical of the brother. But I will say this. He has my respect. And like I say, once again, I want to harp on this. I did not discover him with Hidden Colors. It's easy. Hidden Colors made everyone likable because it was about a certain subject matter. So like I say, I discovered him on his speaking engagements on YouTube. So if you really peel the layers back and you psychoanalyze a brother, it's not hard for me to believe at all that he turned down that money. Because like I say, peel the layers back when you look at it. When it comes to the subject of black people, and this is almost impossible to find, even with your most likable black heroes, that brother speaks in absolutes when it comes to the condition of black people. Once again, that's a trait almost impossible to find when you talk about black heroes, air quotes heroes. Something else, his subject matter when it comes to black people is never ambiguous. He doesn't mince his words. He speaks about black people, the condition of black people, and how to fix black people, period. Once again, I respect him for that. Something else, so going off the top of my head, he doesn't speak in universalisms either when it comes to black people. He doesn't say black and or black people, we need this, but everybody could benefit. Once again, the brother speaks in absolutes. Hard to find in a speaker. And a shout out to Jason Black, Jason Black Hornets. If you really want to see what a black man thinks, put him in front of an audience of white people. Once again, I'll go back to why I respect the brother 100%. When you listen to Umar, no matter the audience, right, his conversation never goes away from the condition of black people. He is constant with that. He is constantly defending the community. He's critical of the community, which you need to be. And he also, I think he has some answers on how to fix the community. And I hear people in here saying, well, I don't trust him because of his stance on, I disagree with him on a certain stance. Look, my mother is a baby boomer, right? She was born at the end of the baby boomer generation. I'm Generation X. I was born at the very, very end of the Generation X. So by virtue of literally age group alone, there are certain things that my mother and my father believe that I vehemently disagree with. But you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to throw my mother and father in the garbage because I disagree with a stance they have. So that's my spiel, and I'll mute up and listen.
All right. Thank you. Like I said, that anybody, there's going to be things that you don't agree with. I know the reparation thing, and, a lot of people feel like, that he's too inclusive and that he should be more, more Black Americans centered. And, there could be some truth to that as well, too. But like I said, I believe he would have put them in a position where, they couldn't have just constantly ran and whatever. And then I don't doubt the brother. I don't doubt his love for black people. Whether you want to say Black Americans or all black people, I don't doubt his love for black people. So, I think he does genuinely care about black people. I see himself, and then Naheem, I got you coming up as well too. Himself, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Good evening, all. I'm actually from the UK. I'm not from the US, and I'm not sure what was being discussed prior, but I see the space is about Dr. Umar Johnson rejecting Kamala Harris's invitation to collaborate in one way or another. Anyway, to get to my point, I respect Dr. Umar. I respect the points he puts forward, and I think Kamala Harris is very disingenuous, and I disagree with a lot of her policies. That is all I have to say. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, brother. Good to hear from you. Hope everything is well, and thank you. My brother say he's in the UK, so shout out to you as well too. So thank you for coming up in the space tonight and speaking. Let me go ahead and get to Naheem. Naheem, go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing tonight?
Peace. What's going on? So shout out to the room. I do want to speak on this issue. real briefly. And I want to touch on what you said about the Freedmen's Bank Forum as well. I've been knowing Umar for some years. More recently, Umar's rhetoric has been anti-reparations. That's number one. So once you took that position that you were going to be anti-reparations, to whereas we were going to make excuses as to why we should hold back on giving us reparations, which was we need to fix our mentals first before we get any money. You know, that paternalistic nonsense. And the more I heard that, and they featured a conversation that I had with Moguldom, or one of the reporters from Moguldom, and I'll put that in the comment section, where I had to deconstruct some of this guy's BS. And another thing is that if you listen to him, he sounds like the average male feminist that talks down on our men. Our men, according to Umar Johnson, is to blame for everything. And if you look at the anti-man campaign of the people, the women especially, that would follow Kamala Harris, it makes sense for them to reach out to Umar Johnson. Like, let's listen to his rhetoric. Oh, he blames black men for every single thing that's going on. Black women get pregnant, we're going to blame the black men. It's like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Right? And when you listen to him, after a while, he starts making less sense. And sometimes, of course, he hits on some things that's right and exact. But that, I definitely would not want him to sit down in representation of us, because what we're fighting for on this side of things is for men to be able to step up, our freedmen men to step up and take care of their families. We've been fighting for this for decades, and they kept separating us until they created the gender divide in the way that they needed it, to whereas now everybody is just shaming our men, from Isaac Hayes III and D.L. Hughley. What's the guy, they mentioned them earlier, the comedian, Ricky Smiley, etc., etc. It's all about shaming us. Roland Martin does this all the time. Cousin Pookie is about to come out with Barack Obama. Watch, when Obama starts stumping for Kamala, he's going to go right into his cousin Pookie bill, which is a derogatory epithet for black men, right? And that's what Umar represents. So I would never support him being somebody that should be listened to on behalf of our people. Not at that level. Not at that level. On a podcast, yeah, talk your talk, because I'm not listening to you anyway. The second point is the Freedmen's Bank Forum. That video that is circulating right now is from 2021. And I put the petition in the comments section, or what they call the perfect bill, so that everybody could look at it and you can see the date that we was on it as soon as it happened. For a lot of people, that's their first time seeing it. And I want to get up here and speak a message, because I don't care who likes me or not, because I know you said that earlier. Some people don't like the brother. They made themselves not like me, because all we do is work over here and we don't take no shit. But we put that petition together and we garnered almost 5,000 signatures on that petition when it happened. And what happened was a bunch of jealousy in the space. And then the next thing you know, you started from 2021, you started seeing people fall back. So what should have propelled us as a movement to rally behind, to whereas that old video clip from 3 years ago, which people are seeing for the first time, would have been at the forefront of everybody's minds, and actionable advocacy is now coming back to the fore. And it shows that we gotta get this thing together politically. We don't have to like each other, but we have to get on board with each other, and we're going to combat whoever is in office, whether it's Trump or Kamala, and pushing the policy needs that are going to lift our communities out of the muck and the mire. And I just wanted to get up here and say that. Peace.
All right. Thank you, Naheem. Appreciate you coming up here as well. And that was the first time that I've actually seen that that petition that they had as well too. I guess he said it was from 2021, so that's the first time I've actually seen it myself as well too. So shout out to Naheem for coming on up here, putting it up in the comment section as well too, guys. So if you get a chance, it's up in the comment section. DJ, I know you up here. DJ, you is anything you want to say? And anybody else? Shout out to my girl Tata. I see Aunt Lie down there, Afro Bubbles. I see FBA Goddess down there as well too in the chat. So guys, definitely feel free. Come up here. Stephanie, I know you working, but if you get a chance, I know you'll sneak up here when you get a chance or two. Go ahead, DJ, you got it.
Yeah, I ain't got much to say. Kamala, that's about it, yo. And Umar, when you gonna build that school, fam? And that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? So they both got off point talking points. So, but all jokes aside, though. Umar, I do agree with Naeem said, he do advocate pretty hard for black issues, in my opinion. I think that was you that said it was title, but Umar do be code switching on us too. So it's like, what the hell? And then I don't understand how our people, you know what I mean? Kamala, sister girl, whoop-de-whoop, 44,000 and all this other stuff. Like, we got a lot of work to do, fam. I'll yield there, but go ahead.
All right. Shout out to you, DJ. Miss Stephanie, what's going on with you?
Hit the YouTube, y'all. Hit the YouTube. Let's go.
How you doing? Newstoter. I'm back. Just want to let you know. I lost my mother last month through.
Oh no. I am so sorry to hear that, Stephanie, and my heart goes out to you and your family, sweetie. I'm sorry to hear that.
And thank you so much. And this is the same hospital that my fiance died in last year. Same hospital. It's the worst hospital in the world. I just want to say that. I'm not taking away from the subject. But I just wanted to say that Dawn and everybody else, all of the grassroots, they was at the Freedmen's Bank. They wanted to have access. Kamala Harris would not let them in. The people, security didn't let them in. They tried to meet up with her in North Carolina at the rally that she had to try to, get an approval, and they kicked them out. So it's not like people weren't trying to reach out to her. She just refused to reach the people. So now that it calls for desperate times, calls for desperate measures, now she wants to meet with a selected group of people, and that it just happens to be Dr. Umar Johnson and the kid Kai Senate, which both of them, which I'm surprised that both of them turned her down. Now, do I say that's the right choice? Honestly, I don't know. I'm actually confused about it, because if you look at it, how come she's reaching out to a certain selected few? She's not reaching out to the other ones. So it could be a hand that she's trying to play. You know what I'm saying? So it's like so many different things that's just come into play. And she's then you see that the AKAs, they formed a pack now. So we really have a lot of work that we have to do. And I think that we do. Naheem is absolutely right. We all need to come together. It is dire. Okay, if we want to get together, we really do need to form a pack. And if that means shaking the change out the pockets, then let's do it. We have to form a pack because we know what we want. These people were not interested in what we needed. And she's a prosecutor. She knows how the system works. Okay? She knows exactly how it works. So she knows what we need, but she just refuses to see it. She doesn't care. She's only interested until after November, whatever the date is. So I don't trust her as far as I can go, and I don't think anybody should either. But I'm just going to stand back and just watch the fireworks happen. But of course, we really do need to pick up some steam. Just like Naeem said, we all just need to get together, put our differences to the side, and just, form that pack so that way we can all come together as a delegate that represents the so-called 40 million that they say we are. And I'm just going to land at that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sister Stephanie. And once again, everybody, please keep Miss Stephanie in your prayers. Stephanie, I know that feeling of losing your mother. It'll be going on 2 years this December. So I know, and definitely if there's anything that I can do for you personally, just let me know. Like I say, I'm so sorry to hear that news as well, too. Everybody keep Stephanie in your thoughts and your prayers. Please do that. Let me go ahead and get to original. Original, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Oh, listen, I want to share this. I want people to be aware. I can't find the video, but I saw this video. It was a brother who had gave some donated money to a political campaign. And what he said happened was, he thought he was donating to, I guess, the individual or whatever, you know. But he said it ended up being, he donated his money, it ended up being with a PAC. And then they used his information to donate like way more money than what he had donated, right? And so it's like a trick bag that when they said that the AKAs or whoever raised all this money, I questioned that because these people that are being used left and right to, you know, they love to use that perception management, you know, perspective to make it appear that certain black people or whatever have all this power and they're pulling themselves together. This is, in my opinion, I think a lot of this, what's going on with Kamala, is smoke and mirrors. And the fact that she doesn't want to talk to, you know, black Americans. And then you got all these people that are trying to beat us down to say that we must go out there and vote for her, that she's black and this, that. No, she's not black. She's not one of us. Like Kendra said, they're not like us. But I think, you know, I just want people to be very careful when they hear that that someone or a group or a specific group of people, black folks, donated a lot of money to this campaign, when it's more than likely they know they donated to this PAC or they are connected to this PAC somehow, and that PAC just increased whatever they did. Sometime I wish I could find that video, but it's something that they do. They take your money and then they manipulate it and then make it look like you gave so much more than what you initially gave, and they get the credit for it, not you. And I'll land.
All right. Thank you. Original as well, too. Let me read a comment real quick on YouTube. S3D says, Umar Johnson is my leader. I'm proud to state it. She's bold for requesting an interview if that's true. And there was another comment I saw here on X as well, too. Let me read. Yives Knows says, so what this tells me is that Harris' campaign is actually reaching out to people to listen to them and gain insight and knowledge. This is dope. Whether he rejected her or not is irrelevant. She can find someone else. So that was a comment there as well, too. Like I said, I'm just a little bit surprised that Umar was a person that they actually reached out to. There's a number of other people. Then I guess also, too, you want to reach out to somebody that you feel you have a chance of maybe. I don't know how they feel they could connect with Umar, but maybe they felt they could connect with Umar more so than maybe some of the other black people out there in the social media realm as well, too. So that's always a question. That's always a possibility as well, too. I see Aunt Lies up here. Before I get to you, Aunt Lie, real quick, anybody that wants to go ahead and speak, please come on up here, raise your hand. I want to get as many people up here to speak tonight as possible. I want to hear what you guys think. Let us know. Feel free to come on up here. Tata, what's up, sweetie? It's been a minute since you was up here. You can come up here real quick, too. Quadir, I see you down there. I know everybody's like, don't call my name. But I'm just trying to get y'all to come up here because we love to hear from you guys, and I want to hear what you guys got to say as well, too. So I got my girl Aunt Lie. We got Ely coming up here as well, too. Aunt Lie, go ahead and unmute your mic. You got it.
Peace, Black Power, and reparations. I just want to say this is very interesting, but I don't, because there's a lot of unknown. I just know she offered him to pay him. I don't know what that's about. Like, why you got to pay a person for a conversation? Why would you be? What services would he be providing that you're paying him for? So that's very it don't make sense. Number two, the fact that he rejected it, I don't understand why. Why wouldn't you want to have a conversation? If you for your people, and if somebody is trying to play your people, you will want to know what the person is trying to do. This whole situation is just, I don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. And it's very, I see them reaching out, and that is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I also see that she's doing a lot of, this person is bad, this person is trying to do this. Don't tell me that person sucks. I don't want to hear it. And then she's saying, oh, if this is the type of society it'll be in, if he's, I don't want to hear it. I need you, in the words of my famous philosopher, what have you done for lately? Done for me lately. You need to be speaking about what your plan is, what you want to do, what is your plan for Black Americans, what are some specific things that you have and that you're going to do. Stop telling us that the other people are bad. Stop telling us that he did this and who cares? I don't care about none of that. So I just feel like it's a lot of waste of time. I don't know why, if he is for quote unquote the people and he want to pick her brain, this would have been an opportunity. Don't take the money, pick her brain and see what she want to have a conversation with you about. What is the, like, she want to talk to you? Okay, what y'all talking about? Y'all could be talking about toe jam. Y'all could be talking about the school. Like, what is the why would you deny a conversation when it's information? Because he would have been able to really get some information from her to figure out what it is she want, and for him to turn that an opportunity, it doesn't make sense, especially if it's in a position to help. And I saw what he said, where he wanted on live and he won't be disrespectful and da-da-da, but I feel like that's for the show. The people don't need to be there. Everybody don't need to be knowing what's going. Everybody's not politics savvy. You got some of these people who took one course of YouTube University and now they think that they are the political science and they understand this. And they don't have the sophistication to really understand it. So why you got to do it for the public? Do it for yourself. But if you quote unquote are a leader and you're for the people, lead. At all the conversations Dr. King had, you know what I mean, they wasn't aware. When Dr. King met with Malcolm X, and the public to this day still want to know. They've been writing books about it, doing interviews on it. Everybody and their mama want to know about that conversation between Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King. And even when Muhammad Ali did an interview, when they was like, Muhammad Ali, what was it about? None of your damn business. Some stuff need to happen in private, you know, and that's okay. But the whole putting it on blast, I understand not taking the money, but not taking the conversation to see what the conversation was about, to see what the meeting was about. She could have said, look, I want to screw the people and I want you to help me. So then boom, now we know what's going on with her. You know what I mean? Like, for you not to do it, it don't make sense. So I'm gonna dock my boat, pull my chair.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Aunt Lai. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get to Ely. Ely, go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's up, bro? What's up?
What's going on with you tonight, man?
Oh, not much. I'll be at work. But it's Umar, we all know he's an immigrant or whatever.
Can we get you a little bit louder if possible, Ely? Can we get you a little bit louder? Say, can we get you a little bit louder? You're pretty low. It's pretty much about the same, but go ahead. We'll try to get through with it.
I got my earpiece.
Yeah, it's the earpiece. That's what it is, because it's low.
Let me see if I can turn it up. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you a little better. Go ahead.
The little opportunity we had from the 70s to now just closed on them, you know what I'm saying? So Umar don't want to talk because he knows he's the immigrant. And he also knows Kamala is the immigrant. So neither one of them can speak for us. You know, that little cosplay and little window we had from 1970 to now, we basically shut the door on. You know, what we're bringing to light that these people are not from here. These people are not represent themselves, pretending to be them, and fueling their own people. You know what I'm saying? So Umar, he knows he don't represent the black folks in America. You know what I'm saying? Only a small percentage of black folks is really understand Africanism anyway. You know, we keep on playing these games, but we know dang well the majority of us will not understand Africa. And get money, take care of our family, travel, build something. You know what I'm saying? So Umar, he knows voice of nothing other than him. You know what I'm saying? That fool came to Detroit one time talking that old food stuff. You can watch the film. The lady was like, old black lady. Old black old folks got money. Old black lady money. I got $1 million now. Do you want to start the school? Never came back to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So he's a scammer. You know, I'm not gonna say a scammer, but he's a bullshit. I like it. And as far as like the window of opportunity, man, it's closing on. You know what I'm saying? The litigation thing, right on time. Reparation thing, right on time. You know what I'm saying? Like the sister said, the caller is over. You know, we do need to click up. You know what I'm saying? As far as even if it's a small thing, like I personally know the owner of WHBR television in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? They have their own website, they have their own, they've been open since the 60s. You know what I'm saying? They got a nice building. You know, I'm gonna inbox you the information with your contact number. You can get your show also shown on their station. You know what I'm saying? I told Tariq last night, you know, he probably will call. I'm gonna tell a couple of people like y'all, we got our own black-owned TV station now. You know what I'm saying? So we got everything in place now to spread the message of why reparations is important, why we're going to give reparations, and why we're not going to give our money back to these people. You know what I'm saying? How and why we are shutting other races out, saying that us. We got nothing against other races, but we're going to take care of our own first. My kids don't have to beat your kids. I'm sorry. You know, and that's the attitude we need to have. This is a race to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? Against the word race. And we got to make sure our kids beat their kids. It's like they make sure their kids beat our kids. It's time to be soft with these people. It's time to stop playing with these people. It's time to stop saying you're a Christian, Muslim, and all this crazy stuff. Black first. That's the Pan-African side that we should take. You know, we black first within our own. You know what I'm saying? It's time to stop saying we West Coast, East Coast. It's time to stop saying white skin, dark skin. It's time to stop saying we rich. I'm rich, you poor, that crab stuff that they put into it. You know what I'm saying? So we're closing the window on these people. We're not letting them in, and we're going to get reparations. Me personally, I say don't nobody vote. Vote locally in your own state. But you know how folks are. They're going to be like, oh, my property couldn't vote back in the day. You got to realize we start voting like this. So, like the sister said, we're not politically savvy here. We just started voting. That's why.
All right, appreciate you, Ely. It was kind of hard for me to hear you, brother. I don't know if because you said you took the earbuds out, but it was still kind of hard for me to hear you. But I appreciate you coming up here speaking tonight, anyways. Though.
I wish I would have just talked all day.
All right, appreciate that, brother. For those that can't support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, $Newstoter. But we do have the actual Newstoter membership up in the actual Jumbotron. It's the second on the right. I'm trying to get people to sign up for as little as $1.75 a month. Reoccurring payment. You can support the platform for as little as $1.75 a month. You can support the platform. That is on the right-hand side. It takes only but maybe a minute to go ahead and create an account. You can go ahead and support us that way. Same for my people on YouTube as well too. The actual link is on the screen and it's also in the description for as little as $1.75. Let's see if we can get some people to support us. Go ahead and join and become a member, and you can support monthly for as little as $1.75. Support a Black-owned, Black American platform that is curating Black content. So definitely support us for those that can. That Negro, he's a member. Tata is a member. Original is a member. DJ is a member. We got a number of you guys up in the space as actual members, and we need some more members as well too. We need our own platform, our own media, our own fam. We don't need nobody else. You see what happens? So we definitely need your support, guys. definitely go ahead if you can, as little as $1.75, as little as $1.75 a month. It's a different tiers. You got $1.75 all the way up to $10. We try to make it as affordable, as cheap as possible, and we definitely need your support. Let's see if we can get. We're in the month of August. We still hadn't got anybody to sign up. Let's see tonight if we can at least get one person to sign up to the actual platform. As little as $1.75 a month, you can support Newstoter. As little as $1.75 a month, guys. Let me go ahead and I see we got that Negro up here. What's up with that Negro? I see that Negro. It's been a little minute since my boy was up in here. We got that Negro up in here. And we got I thought I saw somebody else come up. Okay, Michi the God. If you want to speak, Michi God, we got you as well. Just put your hands up. We'll get to you as well too. Go ahead at Negro. What's going on with you tonight?
All right. New starter has been a minute. So I mean, long story short, just to let the story get out there, I've been in Spain, Italy, Greece, and Sicily. I was out on the cruise, ended up in this European country, and caught COVID, where they actually wrote COVID for what it was. I literally caught that, kind of coming out of it, dealing with all that BS. That's why I sound kind of crappy, but that's also why I've been calm for a minute. Regardless of whatever's going on, y'all, we have to come together on a bigger platform than myself, period. Myself, yourself. I personally put it in the ancestors' hands. I've said that since day one I came here. I don't care. My dad, my pops, is one of those ancestors. I put that in him solely, and that's what makes it for me. But ancestors, period, if that drives your spirit to move, let's move together. As long as that is the spirit pushing you, come on. Come on, y'all. That's what we're doing, is pushing for our ancestors. And anything that falls under the American Negro, Black, or Freedman banner, period, point blank. So I just really wanted to impress that on everybody. I love, I left trying to decompress and just kind of see something different, and I did that. I'm coming back to this fight ready to fight 10 toes down. And I just ask all of our people to do the same thing in their local district. I'm out here in Washington State, been across the country, and I'm proud to say that everything I've touched has been enamored with American Negro culture, and that's all about this group we're standing in the midst of right now. So I'll land right there, Newstoter. Once again, thanks for letting me speak in your spot. And, missing y'all. Original Blood and Professor, miss all y'all. I see I am Money, all these people in this room. WPI, DJ, brother was popping. Glad to be back and glad to be kicking ass for our people, y'all.
Well, you definitely go ahead and take care of yourself. I can still hear it in your voice that you're not 100%. So definitely be easy and get yourself back up. Get your health and get your strength back up to 100% capacity, because we definitely need you. And I'm glad to hear from you. I'm glad that you're doing good. Glad that you got a chance to see a little bit of the world as well too, and that you're back home as well too. But make sure you get that strength back up the park, because we need you for this fight this in the long run. So definitely glad to have you back, that Negro.
Yeah, that Negro, man. I'm glad to hear you in the space, man, and continue to get better. And I'm glad that you're in this fight with us, man, and continue to encourage our people, man, because that's the most important thing, is we have to encourage our people. Every day, our people are being bullied and tortured and everything else. So it's great to have a brother up in the space that uplifts the people's spirit, and our ancestors going to be there with us, brother. I agree with you.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. In the words of baby sister, hell yeah, y'all.
So let me see. We got Michi, God, we got you up here, and we got the admin, Michi. Did you want to speak?
Yeah, man, I was just wanting to speak to Kamala Harris reaching out to Umar. You know, I'm with I think it's you call it back or saying that no matter who you know what I'm saying say that they're donating to the Kamala Fund or whatever, you know, it's pretty much hidden money that's behind all of that, and you know they'll add on to your donation 100 million fold, you know, make it look like you gave them all this money. Which I mean, technically, I think the IRS should be able to come at those people like that, and then you find out where the money really came from, you know. But and I think that's, you know, it's a big little scam that they're doing, making it look like, you know, all these grassroots, you know, support is supporting Kamala Harris, but it's not really that. But I think the reason why she was reaching out to Umar is because Umar is more Pan-Africanist than he is not a reparationist, and he has a you know, his platform, and he's a self-serving motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to cuss, you know what I'm saying, but you know he is. You know what I'm saying? He's a self-serving.
Yeah, definitely don't drop any MFs in here. Yeah.
My bad, bro. But still, you know what I'm saying? You know about that money. You know what I'm saying? That's missing from the school. He ain't got a school in 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So we can get a you know, a whole museum set up. You know what I'm saying? In less than a year. You know, I understand the staffing and different things as goes with school, but you know, 10 years you got more than enough time to, you know, get not only just allocating funds and stuff one, but I feel like, you know, she felt like he probably is an opportunist that would be on some Ricky Smiley and sell his people out, you know, for you know, to shield some money. But it's definitely a ploy to try and paint the narrative that we are not seeking reparations. We're not seeking any type of you know, just anything from them, period. You know what I'm saying? We don't want anything from them except for to be able to pull ourselves up by, you know, bootstraps. And so that was my point on it.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you. We see you got Moku up here. Moku, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I'm gonna say once again, shout out to everybody in the space and everybody with their BGQs. Definitely things to think about. But I want to say this. You know, I'm here up in Baltimore. The Wire is always fresh in my mind. And if you take any key points from The Wire, I think Naheem said it. I think a few other people said it. Following the money. You know, when you start to follow the money, you start to get a lot more answers, a lot more corruption. It's real odd to me, even in watching The Wire, politicians that go to grassroots or anybody to pay them money to have an interview. I think the number one question that should be asked is, why are you paying him money? You know, why are you even offering money? And it is that right there speaks to the agenda of the extended arms of white supremacy and the collaborator that we talked about, and Kamala, and you know, so on and so forth. So I think this is a very interesting space, and again, it's going to draw us to ask the right questions. And when Kamala is asked these questions, I don't think she should be held with the answers either.
All right. Thank you, Brother Moku. Thank you. I saw Ray coming up here, but I don't see him. Oh, okay. There you are, Ray. Go ahead and unmute your mic. I see you.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing tonight?
What's up, Ray?
I had a question not related to the topic. Newstoter By wanted to ask, did you have a chance yesterday to see the interview that Elon Musk did with Donald Trump?
No, I didn't get a chance to catch that.
Yeah, he did a Twitter space yesterday with Donald Trump. I swear, I think I saw it was like 1.2 million people in there. But one thing I noticed is they didn't let anyone speak. They definitely controlled the narrative. So it was just, you know, Elon and Trump's talking points. And Kamala Harris was actually offered a chance to come on and talk about, different things that she wanted to do as president. I'm guessing she declined. But let me get back to the topic, right? As far as Umar Johnson goes, I actually commented on this. I said, well, that makes no sense because, again, if you're for black people and the only thing they want is an interview or a Zoom call or whatever the case may be, why would you not take it? Because, again, you can take this money and use it for the school or some other type of, black cause. There's plenty of people out here that need stuff. So I just personally don't understand why he would decline. And I admit I did come into the space a little late. So is there a particular reason why he declined it?
He declined that. This is what it was, Ray. He actually declined the money. He said that he was willing still to come on there and do the actual I guess Zoom call with her, but he wanted to he wanted it to be live. He didn't want it to be pre-recorded. He also, what he said, he wanted to basically talk about certain issues as well too. But like I was saying in the space earlier, to me, why not just go ahead and say this? Like, to me, now that you said that to everybody, not that everybody knows, quote unquote, or at least from your point of view, that you had this discussion with her, whatever. Now there won't be anything because she's gonna come up. There, people gonna say, well, we didn't actually ask, we didn't try to send him any money, anything like that. So my thing is this: why not go ahead, have a discussion with the woman behind the scenes, negotiate with a team, what you expect this Zoom call, what the questions you want to ask and this and that, because he said he'd be respectful to her, he wouldn't disrespect or anything like that. So why not just go ahead, and tell the people behind the scene, you know what, I don't need any money, I don't want any money, I'm good. We can go ahead, we can have this discussion or whatever, but I want to cover these topics right here as well too or whatever. So now that you said this, now that you told everybody, hey, you know what, her people offered me to come on here, they offered me money and this and that or whatever, and now the discussion, now any chance of having an actual conversation with the woman is actually gone now. So I mean, I don't understand that. I was also to the point like this right here, like, how did they come to the conclusion? How did they say, you know what, I think Dr. Umar Johnson would be an actual good person to have on the actual on a Zoom call? For one, we know how let's just say we know how Umar Johnson feels about interracial relationships as well too. Well, Kamala Harris is a product of an interracial relationship, and she's also married, to a white man as well too. So just simple things like that. I was just kind of surprised that would be the person that they would choose, or they want to actually try to connect with somebody, or whatever, because they know how Umar Johnson feels. But hey, you never know. Like they say, politics makes strange. What they say, strange bedfellows or something like that. So I don't know. Go ahead, Ray.
No, I was just gonna add in 2 cents on that. So yes, she is a product of an interracial relationship. She is in an interracial relationship, raising white kids, because Kamala doesn't have kids. Raising white kids, pushing abortion onto our black women, and they're mad because black men won't stand with her.
And yeah, like I say, and then there's certain, I would have just liked to see what issues Umar Johnson was going to bring up, because I think we've already pretty much covered that, and some people felt, I saw somebody leave a comment too, saying basically that because Umar is against reparations, that maybe that was one thing that they would bring him on there so he could speak against it or whatever. I don't know. But it would have been interesting to at least hear. I think with him, he would have given back a certain level of pushback that, most of the time the Democrats, when they're speaking to black people and any type of black person, the media, anything like that, it's pretty much handpicked who they want. And the person's really not giving back any pushback, anything else like that. So, and I found that, I'm like, well, out of all the people, like Umar, whether you agree with 100% of what he says, or you agree with 10% of what he says, he's going to give some kind of pushback. So I was a little bit surprised that was a person whose name actually popped up, that they would actually talk about actually, having on a Zoom call or whatever with him as well too. So, hey, it is what it is. So, I was a little bit surprised by that one, but hey, like I say, it's they're trying to get as many people on board. They're trying to get people with these larger platforms as well too, and maybe saying that they could sway certain people or whatever. I don't know I don't know Umar's voting. I don't know Umar's fan base, what their voting block, really is going to be or whatever. But hey, it's interesting to see as well too. So it's very, very interesting to see. Ben Israel, I see you up here as well. If you want to speak, go ahead and raise your hand, and I will get you. I will get you in here to speak as well too. We want to get any new speakers that came up here that want to speak. I want to get you guys up in here before we go back to the old speakers. If you don't want to speak right now, that's cool. That's fine as well too. But if you do, let us know. We will go ahead and get you up in here. At this point, I see Aunt La is the only one with her hands up. Professor, I see Professor with his hands up as well too. So Aunt La, Professor, go ahead. You got it, Aunt La.
Peace, power, reparations. But I would agree with you 150%. That to me is very, very odd. The fact that he wanted to have a conversation with her is not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a the conversation could have been smoke and mirrors. But the fact that it was just like he rejected it, he rejected money, but it's just like, dang, like, I don't understand the meaning of why not want to have a conversation. And what possibly what she would have wanted, because if she would have came and said, I want your followers, I want this, that could have really been an opportunity to have a conversation about some real, even if she didn't want to hear the conversation. And that's the thing, like you said, strange, politics makes strange fellows. It don't matter what the other person wanted to hear or not. You had the opportunity to say what you wanted to say to a person who is just like, I'm like, that's a missed opportunity. For real. Because it's just, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's the part that's just the part that baffles me as well too. I said, yeah, that's the part that baffles me as well too. That's the part where I just don't understand that part.
Yeah, because it's just like, okay, cool. You put yourself in a situation where she's saying she want to have a conversation with you, and you were rejecting it, but she didn't even say what the conversation was about. So I feel like it was a publicity stunt on his part, saying, well, I don't want to have a conversation with her unless X, Y, and Z. Now, I'm having that conversation. But then I could, you know what I mean? Of course, you want to get something out of it, but that would have been an amazing opportunity to let her know. And again, because he's a psychologist, and he has a lot of he really could have did with the school children, the prison, the pipeline. He could have been education. You could have put some stuff on her plate that, because again, she ain't in touch with the people. Now she ain't of the people. She don't know anything about the people. I'm not saying that he is, but since he quote unquote pours or whatever, could have been an amazing opportunity for, at least if nothing else, a conversation. Because at the end of the day, I still believe my theory, reparations has been trending since 2020 consistently. Black Americans consistently. You know what I mean? Put that bug in his ear. Whatever happens with that, you have to let them know that these are the conversations that I'm having. These are the whatever, for whatever reason. And honestly, even if she would have came and said, look, I'm just trying to smoke and mirrors. I don't want to promise giving the black people nothing. Then boom. Then at least we the black people know that. And you know what I mean? The people who say they voting for her, now they know what not to do. But that would have been an opportunity. It's just like, I don't get it. But I'm going to throw my chair.
Thank you.
I just want to say happy anniversary to you too, sister.
Nope. Aunt La, your anniversary. Well, happy anniversary, Aunt La. All righty. Well, happy anniversary to Aunt La and any other married people that may be up in the space as well, too. Let me go ahead and get to you, Ben Israel, as well, too.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Shalom to everybody in the chat. I get it why Dr. Umar didn't want to talk to Kamala Harris online, because she's trying to do everything in a controlled environment. There's certain things that they're gonna make him act and things to stay away from. Like all of those other people who out there supporting her on the social media page, they got a script to go by. They got certain things that they can't ask. She's not gonna do a on the spot Q&A like that guy JD Vance. Like him or don't like him, he's out there. He'll go do a Q&A. You ask him a question, he gonna give you an answer. You might not like the answer, but he's gonna answer the questions. And this thing for her, everybody's saying that half Jamaican. Her father half Jamaican. No, he's not. He's East Indian and he's Irish. He's a white man or white Indian. His nationality is Jamaican. She has no black in her. She is darker than her parents are. And with that, I'm gonna land my plane.
All right. Thank you, Israel. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get to we got DJ, we got Professor. Okay. Let me go ahead and get to Professor. Anybody else wants to speak? Feel free to come on up here as well too. And I'm just here before I get to Professor, I gotta say this right here, Professor. I'm not to cut you off, but how often does somebody get a chance if the actual vice president, the person that's running for president of the United States, comes to you? You're not coming to them. They come to you and they say, you know what, we want to invite you on a call and this and that or whatever, and we're willing to pay you. I don't have an issue, like I say, with him rejecting the money, because then people say, well, you know what, Umar ain't bought or paid or whatever. I just don't get the point though of just, I didn't get the point of airing this out right here and right now. I can see after you did the actual interview with her and you went ahead and you said, well, this is how it actually went down behind the scenes and this and that, whatever. But I'm just a little bit still dumbfounded by the simple fact that he went ahead and everybody, like I say, now you're not going to get an interview. Now you're not going to sit down and talk. Now you're not going to be able to discuss what you consider pressing issues in the Black community. So, it just, I don't understand that point. Go ahead, Professor. You got it.
All right. Thank you there, Newstoter. And shout out to all the family, Newstoter family up in here. Good to see y'all up in here. I just want to say, just to clarify something when it comes to this old Black Weezy Wars, Dr. Umar, he is from here. He's not from anywhere else that I know of. He is from here. He just advocates this Pan-Africanism, okay? That's what he does, which is why he's not a friend to the FBA. He advocates for all of the Blackness to be included, okay? But this fat wars is no good to us. I don't trust Dr. Umar. I don't like Kamala Harris. And that's how I feel about it. I would tell anybody when it comes to Umar, he's not down with us for real. I know he comes up in these spaces. He talks Black this and Black that. But as Brother Naheem broke it down to y'all earlier, he talks down to Black men, which is another reason why I can't stand his fat, greasy war's ass. Excuse my French. He does. He blames everything on Black men. This is a simp, okay? That's what me and DJ, you hear me and DJ use that term simp? This is one of those. That's what we're talking about. Simp, sap, and men. Yeah, there you go. And men that will stick their tongue up, and I'm going to leave it at that, because they can't be men, right? Men are supposed to lead. Men are supposed to lead. We lead. Okay? Naheem broke that down for you all earlier. That is, this man is trying to discourage men from leading. He wants men to be down at the bottom of the totem pole and put the men down like we don't do nothing. That's what he does. Okay? So I'm letting you know, I am a man. I'm a man, and as a man, I lead. My job is to lead. And therefore, Dr. Umar is no friend to us. So I'm going to land right there.
All right. But now, Professor, some people will say that, Dr. Umar is trying to inspire Black men to do better and stuff. You're going to have that. You're going to have that argument from people as well, too. They say, well, he's hard on Black men, but he's also hard on this because he wants us to do better and lead and this and that, whatever. So, you're going to get that argument back as well, too, right?
But what he can do is do better with the diet. That's what we need to do, bro. Get on that diet.
I'm fat. I'm fat, so I ain't hating on that. But hey, look, he hugged over Suki with the good coochie, so he can't tell me what to do. There you go.
Righty.
Right.
All right. Let me go ahead. I see.
Calm consciousness, you know what I'm saying?
I see Israel is back up. Somebody talk about I think it was Michi God. He you put in there said that his father, his Cuban grandfather, well, he had a Cuban great grandfather or something like that. I don't know. I've heard somebody mention that before as well too. I think that
Umar Panamanian, something like that. He from down there in the canal area. You know what I'm saying? That's why he can't speak for me. You know? I'm a knacker, use the knacker, reach me knackers, no.
All right. Israel, you got your hand back up. You want to speak?
No, I didn't want to speak. I don't even know how to navigate.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I could be able to come into the room with y'all.
No issues, no problem. I just saw your hand up, so I didn't know if you want to go ahead. DJ, you got your hand up, so you go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. You Rama, sure you don't want to say something though, bro? Like check 1 2 1 2. Just hit that microphone button. That's all. Go ahead and speak if you want to speak.
No, I'm good, bro. I appreciate you. You know.
For sure. Yeah. So Professor Wright, Simnack is Sim gang. You know what I'm saying? We don't rep them. We got to beat them up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we don't want to hear none of that stuff. You really be talking to Umar either because you ain't really for the black community, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You don't come into our spaces. Well, you don't come into the little black media spaces. You know what I'm saying? You be all up on the high end knackers. Don't fuck with the little knackers. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Hey, ain't a lot of putting your hand down. You see already.
Y'all remember the cursing though. Remember the cursing in the space. Don't forget the cursing though. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, my bad. I ain't trying to cuss. You know what I mean? But yeah, with that being said, I already handed you and Sister Tracy in the room the other night, so stay mad. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I mean? But Umar, you do say some good things when the time is right. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, stick to that talking points. You know what I mean? Because everybody ain't gonna be on the court. You know what I'm saying? And you got our folks so splintered. It's crazy right now. You know what I mean? It really truly is. You got the nerd knackers over there. You got the jocks over there. The bad biddies over there. You know what I'm saying? That's how we splinter right now. So it's like we need to find a way to start coming together and start getting some money. You know what I'm saying? Reparations is the long game. Fames is the way, man. Your bills, my bills need to be paid. Let's get this bread, man. Real talk. I got the ideas. Let's go.
Real talk. Anybody else that wants to speak tonight? Anybody else that wants to speak tonight? Go ahead, Aunt Lie.
Hey, I'm about to say, sis, hold on, put your hand down. Hold on, sis, and Kamala. You ain't no friend of the black community, you know what I mean? You already done stated you ain't gonna do down for us. So why is the black folks and all the Democratic shills running around saying, let's vote for Kamala? Like that's our only choice. Like we shouldn't be voting for her. Shouldn't be voting for anything Democrat under the sun for the next 1,000 years, if not ever. We should ever vote for them. You know what I mean? We need to really start our own PAC foundation and organizations. Somebody need to do the work, man. It can't just be 1, 2 people just do all the work and say, speak for us all the time. Everybody got to speak up, man. Stop being quiet, man. Also, there you go.
Oh yeah, real quick, y'all hold it down. I'll be right back. Go ahead, Aunt Lie. You got it.
I want to say real quick, I feel like I like the fact that Dr. Umar gets on men because he is a man. So I would rather a man tell a man, because I'm not a man. So I don't know what things y'all need to work on, how he feels. With the line of business he's in with dealing with children and him having to go to places and talk to schools, and most of the time he's talking to women. So I just feel like he's giving his opinion on the situation from the circumstances he come. I wouldn't take it personal, especially if you're not a man that fits those characteristics. But for him to be addressing men, that's what a man's supposed to do. That's like, I don't like it when men address women about certain issues. So I just feel like you should look at it from that standpoint. If he's giving advice to men, he's not talking. If it doesn't apply, let it. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. It means that he's not talking to you, so you shouldn't take it personal. And I ate y'all up the other night, but I wanted to say in regards to this Kamala situation, because there's a lot of division. It is a time for everybody to get together, and what I feel like has to happen. The thing about politics is they know that they are throwing out the distractions. Before, recently when she did the whole switcheroo and she got in, everybody was focused on one thing. Everybody shifted. Now nobody's really focused on that. Instead of us having a conversation, regardless if she's black or not, it's irrelevant. Right now, we should be saying these are the things. And again, she's reaching out to some very interesting people. But if we will all get on one accord, we can honestly say these are the things that we're asking for. These are the things that we're demanding if you want our vote. She was in a position before. How politics work is you demand, there's action behind it. People can say they're not going to do whatever, and I'm pretty sure, I said this before, the people who was meeting with Dr. King, the presidents, the local officials, the governors, they didn't want to meet with him. They couldn't stand him. They didn't want to give him anything. But he had the people behind him, and they were all on one accord, so they had to give him something. They had to do something because even with the boycott, he said, cool, y'all don't want us to ride y'all buses? We won't ride y'all buses. And then they went bankrupt, and then they was willing to meet because one thing they had togetherness. Everybody was on the same page. And at this point in time, that's what we need to do. We need to get together on the same page and say, this is what we want. Kamala right now, she needs us. Whether she black, white, Jewish, Irish, whatever, she needs us. We don't need her. Because regardless of who the president is, we're going to keep keeping on because that's what we've done since we've been here. She's in a position where instead of them saying, oh, this is what they're not even paying attention. Right now they're attempting, even if they're acting like they're paying attention. So we need to get on one accord and we need to be demanding X, Y, and Z. Whatever those demands are, we need to be focusing on that instead of this argument of is she is or is she ain't. And the fact that I believe, like somebody said it earlier in another space, they are definitely listening to these spaces. They definitely have somebody in the headquarters going over the spaces, taking the talking points from certain individuals in the black grassroots community, and they're running with it. Because for Trump to say, did she just turn, that ain't something that he had the IQ to even say. That's something he got from somewhere. So we need to start taking this advantage and have a unified front. Somebody said, I don't know if it was in this space or was the other space, she said she don't agree with a lot of things that a lot of people say, but she don't never say that because back in the day, it used to be a point in time where you don't talk about certain things in front of white folks. I'm from that where like it's a couple of black people. You will never hear me dog out another. The only black person you will ever hear me dogging out consistently is Candace Owens, and if I see her, it might be on site. But other than that, I will give you the respect of me not liking you because people don't need to know what goes on, and they are using that to get our enemies and continue with the division because they can say certain things to certain people, which cause division among us. They don't need to know how black people feel about black people, and they already in our mustard trying to catch up in the first place, all in the flavor and don't know the Kool-Aid. And now we're giving it to them because we're putting it out there and we're putting who we like and we're putting who we don't like, and they just running with it. So it needs to be a unified front. We need to get on the same page. We need to get one accord and say, okay, these are the demands that we're making. If they can get on a Zoom call and raise that money for her, then black people can get on a Zoom call and say, okay, what are the demands? This is what we're demanding for this. This is what we want. Ice Cube plan was good, but no, we can make this better. We can do this. We can do that. This is the conversation. This is the time for us to be having the conversations, and that's how politics works. A lot of times people think politics is every 4 years or every November you go in and vote. That's the minimum. Politics starts way before the voting. The voting is the last. The organization is the key, and a lot of times people forget how impactful the organization. The reason why the Rainbow Coalition got what they wanted is because they organized. The reason why the DACA community they organized. We're not outnumbered. We are out organized, and if we really get together and say this is what we want, and they knew that we were organized. That's why they went to our institutions and. Again, besides creating them, they gutted them from within. You can't tell me that the federal government can get rid of the Black Panthers and they can't get rid of the Bloods and Crips. No, they know what they're doing. And because they sowed the division within our leaders, we don't trust. When somebody say they coming up, when they for the black people, you looking at them with side eye. Somebody want money. Somebody been building a school for 10, 15 years, we looking at them with side eye. And it's because of that division. It's because of that. So we just have to understand this is an opportunity for us to understand politics is a 365, not every 4 years. not every November. Get on one accord and push your agenda. That's how it works. The Tea Party, consistently, they push their agenda. They got the people on the bench to overturn Roe. They've been trying to overturn Roe versus Wade since Roe versus Wade was first passed. And they put in the motion to pass the laws that they passed in the 40s. In the 50s, when they put Thurgood Marshall on there. And they had that conservative court. They think the long game. They think 50 years. We need to start thinking like that, too. And, yeah, I had Dog DJ out the other night. Man, my plane.
All right. Thank you, Aunt Lai. Thank you. So I guess that's as good as any to go ahead and close this space out for the night, guys. Thank you all for coming to the space tonight and participating. Definitely appreciate everybody coming up here to co-host, the listeners, the speakers, everybody on YouTube as well. Too. Shout out to all my people over there on YouTube, guys. We'll be doing another space this week as well. We got one planned tentatively for tomorrow unless something changes or whatever. So we should be back tomorrow night unless something pops up. I'll say that because I've been really busy lately the past couple months and stuff. So, but we're definitely trying to get in at least 2 spaces a week, 2 to 3 spaces a week. So I'll try to definitely be back tomorrow night, guys. So on that note, we're going to do the one about the New Jersey father that had the sake boy that was calling his kids nigga this, nigga that, and he went ahead and he took the permanent dirt nap, and unfortunately, his brother got a plea deal or whatever. So we'll be discussing that tomorrow night, guys. So definitely stay tuned. Check us out. Come through at 8:00. Y'all know. Make sure y'all go ahead, show up early so we can get the conversation rolling early, and definitely retweet out the actual space during the day so your followers can see it as well too, and maybe come up here and participate as well too, guys. Go ahead, DJ.
And let's stop playing with Jersey naggers. I told y'all, put these cracker naggers in the dirt, son. Don't be scared of these people. Put them down. You know what I'm saying? Do the time. You know what I'm saying?
All righty. So on that note, guys, peace, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Peace, peace.